today, very different than anything I've done. I'm doing a few of my favorite things. All right, so what I'm gonna show y'all are some of my kind of essential tools that I have used for this past little over a year of being on program that have just made my life easier. Also, I'm gonna share with you my favorite condiments that I've used and my favorite optional snack. Now, and one product that I use for my lean and green that I absolutely love. I like to put my shakes in a blender. Now, when you get your first essential kit, it's gonna come with a shaker bottle, and a lot of people, that's how they drink their shakes. They just put the water, a little bit of ice, and they shake them up, and that is so convenient, so on the go, and I've done that. I actually did that on an airplane one time. Perfect. But when I'm at home, I like to add a little ice and put them in my NutriBullet. Now, you don't have to use a NutriBullet, but just any good blender, okay? And you don't have to add anything other than some ice, you know, of course, water. You can add some almond milk. Make sure you get the unsweetened, 30 calories, 1 carb, 1 condiment. 1 cup is 30 calories, 1 carb. I never use a whole cup in my shakes, always a half a cup. And then I split that with water, because if you use a whole cup, it's gonna be way too thick, okay? The other way that I use my almond milk is on the cereal. This is one of my favorite condiments. Another favorite condiment is this salad dressing, okay? Marie's salad dressing, and this is my favorite one. I'll get it close up. The reason I like Marie's Market Reserve is because you can use it either or. You can use it as a healthy fat. Let me put my glasses on to make sure I get this right. All right, so 2 tablespoons is 50 calories, 5 grams of fat, and 1 carb. So because it has 5 grams of fat and 50 calories, you can use this as a healthy fat, 2 tablespoons. But let's say you're having salmon for dinner, okay? Salmon is considered a lean, and so you don't get a healthy fat, but you wanna have a salad with that salmon, and you don't like dry salad, you want some dressing. Guess what? You can put 1 tablespoon of this for 1 condiment. If you want 2 tablespoons, 2 condiments. So I like this salad dressing because it can be used either or. It can be used as a healthy fat, or it can be used as a condiment. That's my favorite dressing. My favorite barbecue sauce is this. Condiments are 30 calories or less, so that's great, but 1 carb or less, okay? So if you wanted to use this and you only wanted to count it as 1 condiment, you could only use 1 tablespoon. Does that make sense? I hope that's making sense. It's got a great flavor, y'all. It's wonderful. You just want a little bit on your chicken or something. It's perfect. Okay. Raos. Everybody loves Raos. Now they have several different kinds. The marinara is really good for nutrition support. 1/4 cup of Raos, okay, counts as 1 green. 1 green. So like if you're making spaghetti and meatballs using the spaghetti squash as your spaghetti, you could do 2 servings of spaghetti squash. You could do your protein from the meatballs, and then 1/4 cup of this as your 3rd serving of green. Those are the things that I use over and over. There's one other that I'm out of, and the stores are out of it. I haven't been able to find it, so I'm probably gonna go online and order it, and it's the Walden Farms syrup, okay? 1/4 of a cup of that, which I never use, I always use a tablespoon or 2, counts as a condiment. And I use that for a variety of things. Walden Farms syrup. I use it on the pancakes. I also use it to sweeten my oatmeal. Sometimes if I want my oatmeal a little sweeter, or my sweet potatoes a little sweeter. That's what I use it for. Okay, my favorite optional snack. Ooh, this is my favorite, and I have to be careful with it. I'm gonna be honest because I like it so much. Is PB2 powder. Okay, these are my favorite 2 kinds. I think these are honestly the only 2 kinds they come in. There may be one more, but these are my favorite. This one has cocoa, dark cocoa, and it has a very dark chocolate flavor, okay? It's peanut butter chocolate flavor. If you don't like dark chocolate, you won't like this. I like it because I love dark chocolate. This one's just straight up peanut butter. The only ingredients in this is roasted peanuts, a very small amount of salt and sugar. Okay, so it's powder. You put the powder in, you add a little water, as much or as little water as you want to get it to the consistency you want. 2 tablespoons of either one of these counts as 1 optional snack. 2 tablespoons of the powder, not 2 tablespoons prepared. Big difference there. So the way I use it is I have a dark chocolate shake every single morning. And so I put 1 tablespoon of this in my dark chocolate shake almost every morning. Sometimes I don't, but for the most part I do because I just like the peanut butter chocolate flavor. All right, the other way I use it is I will mix up some of it and sometimes pour it over a brownie. Or sometimes I'll even pour it over my chocolate pudding because there again, I like the Reese's peanut butter flavor. And I'm gonna tell y'all, you know, I'm diabetic. So for the rest of my life, I'm gonna have to be careful with sugar and carbs, okay? So things like this, discovering these products has been amazing for me because everybody likes a little something sweet. So I'm probably gonna be ordering the pudding and the brownie probably for the rest of my life because there is no sweet out there that I can have that's not going to affect my blood sugar, because when I eat the pudding or the brownie, I'm gonna tell you, my blood sugar just goes, it just does not move, okay? And adding something like this to it, even better, makes it just even a little bit more decadent. All right, so that's my favorite optional snack. There's other optional snacks you can have. They're listed in your guide. That one's my favorite. And actually, this is not listed in your guide. It is nutrition support approved. I always tell my clients when I start them, write this down in your book because it's not in your book, but I want you to know about it. And it's something that I'll continue to use probably forever. Okay, one of my favorite products, Outer Aisle pizza crusts. I love Outer Aisle pizza crusts. These are cauliflower pizza crusts. They are plant approved. I get them at a local health food store. I think you can also get them at Drug Emporium, and I know you can get them online. This is my favorite, and it gets crispy. You know, the cauliflower pizza crusts are never gonna be like a bread pizza crust, okay? But this is as close as it gets, and it has a wonderful flavor. And my husband, who I always tease and tell him he's got the palate of a 5-year-old because he's so picky, loves them. I make him, and they're big, y'all. I mean, that's a good size. Look at that. That's 1 serving. I can make a pizza out of this, and it's like a meal. So good. They also make the small sandwich rounds. I use those for tacos, make little small tacos. I've used them to make a hamburger, to be the bun. You can use them for everything. Love, love, love them. Okay, now I'm gonna show you a few more gadgets, for the lack of a better word, that have made my life easier that I love. Okay. Tiny utensils. Let me show you something. A lot of our things come with these little ramekins, the little things that we're gonna mix up. And if you've got a big spoon and you're trying to mix up in that, well, it's a mess. Or if you're trying to scrape out or anything, it's a mess, okay? That's why I love these tiny little spatulas. It is perfect. I love, love, love. So every time I find a little tiny spoon like this or a little tiny spatula, I always grab it because I use them all the time. So I love the tiny utensils. This is a must. This is a tiny wire whisk. You need this if you're gonna have my favorite fueling, which is pudding. Okay, the pudding can be a little lumpy if you just try to mix it with a spoon. But if you use your tiny little wire whisk, it gets all the lumps out and it's so good. It's so good. In fact, I have some in the fridge right now. Let me show you. Okay, I always make my pudding up in the morning because the longer it sits in the fridge, the fudgier it gets. So this has been in there for a few hours and it ain't going nowhere. Look at it, y'all. Yeah, that is so good. And no lumps because I used my tiny little whisk. Okay, also reusable straws. You can get the stainless steel ones. I have some of those. I prefer the silicone ones, okay? You're gonna need these. You know, you're drinking a lot of shakes or whatever. So reusable straws, good one. What most people love to use in the beginning is their little dash waffler. Some of them use them forever, the whole time. I bought it in the beginning. I used it in the beginning. I rarely use it now. If I waffle something, I'll be honest, I usually use my full-size waffler. I don't know why. To me, it's just, sometimes the batter is too much for this and it can spill out, so you have to be really careful. And I don't know, I just feel like my full-size waffler gets things crisper. But these are great and they're very inexpensive. You can get them on Amazon. I think I got this one actually at Target. They sell all the Dash products. I want to say it's like $10. So perfectly affordable, and it's a nice, handy dandy little thing to have. Okay. One of my favorite little gadgets are tiny measuring cups. Tiny measuring cups. Okay, the reason I like these is a lot of our baked fuelings, you know, our little fuelings that go in here, the measurement is tablespoons. So if you're using a tablespoon, you know, 3 tablespoons, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But when I found this, I just love it because now this one has been through the ringer, you can tell. But it's got tablespoon measurements right here, okay? So you just pour it in, and there you go. I use it for egg beaters because I have a couple of recipes that call for like 2 tablespoons of egg beaters. It's perfect. It's perfect. And then for all my fuelings, I use that. Okay, so, and this one too. I got this one. This one's by Mainstay. I found it at Walmart. My daughter found this one at Home Goods and gave it to me. Okay, I also want to share with y'all, these are 4 of my favorite fuelings. I have other favorite fuelings, but I'm not going to share those with you. I'm just going to share these 4 in case you're new and you're starting out, because that is one of the, I get asked that question probably the most by new clients. What are your favorite fuelings? What do you like when they get ready to place that first order on their own? And this is what I always tell them. It really doesn't matter what my favorite ones are because everybody's palate is different. I'm not going to show you all my personal favorites because what my personal favorites are might not be yours. But what I am going to show you are the 4 fuelings that after doing this and coaching for about a year that pretty much universally everybody likes. They're all sweet ones. Who would have thought? And they are, you know, it's going to be chocolate pudding. I have only found one person that doesn't like the chocolate pudding. I won't mention names, Cheryl. Oh, but yeah, one person that doesn't like chocolate pudding. When she told me that, I said, well, I'm not sure we can still be friends, but okay. But it worked out because she traded me for all her chocolate pudding, and I was a very happy coach. So chocolate pudding, the decadent chocolate brownie, never found one person that does not like this. The chocolate mint crisp bar. Now, I have met a couple people who don't like this, but that's because they don't like mint. But if you like chocolate mint, which most people do because they like thin mints, Girl Scout cookie thin mints, this is gonna be your bar. I love, love, love this bar. Tastes straight up like thin mint. And then the creamy double peanut butter, I can never say it. The creamy double peanut butter crisp bar. Very yummy. This is my husband's favorite. Okay, those 4 pretty much universally people like. So these are a few of my favorite things. I hope this was helpful to y'all, and I hope y'all are enjoying these videos. And I'm just gonna tell you, I am having such a good time meeting all of y'all and talking with y'all. And so many people have commented and said, hey, I just started and I'm so excited. I wanna keep up with y'all. Y'all let me know how you're doing. The best advice I can give you, 2 pieces, best advice I can give you if you're starting out brand new, when you hit that fat burn, you ride that fat burn. You stay in that fat burn, okay? Stay in that fat burn. The second best piece of advice I can give you, and it's what's gonna help you get to that fat burn, is stay connected to your coach. Stay connected. Don't you ghost your coach. If she texts you or he texts you, you respond. They're there to help you. That's what our job is. That's what our passion is, okay? Motto of Optavia is transforming lives one healthy habit at a time. And I am excited to be just the tiniest part of that. So you guys be blessed, be safe, and be well. We'll talk to you next time.